I want to welcome everyone to the channel. You're watching Texas Silver. As promised, I forgot probably the last 2 or 3 videos, but I do have a new kitty in the house. I actually have 2 that are outside barn cats, but she's generally sweet. She's not liking the camera, but anyways, there she is. I'm gonna let her go because she doesn't want on my lap. She likes to come snuggle with me on the bed and all that, but she doesn't like to be held. But, well, when I get home, I normally flip her up like a baby and she's loving all over me, but she likes it just for a minute or 2. But, so her name, we went all out this time. Her name is Kitty. Normally my daughter comes up with all the names. I got the cat and I asked for a couple weeks. My daughter, I was like, what is the name of this cat? And I kept calling it Kitty because I didn't want to call it any name until I had a name for it. And so I finally pressured her. I was like, I need a name. And she's like, it's Kitty. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kitty. Let's get into this real quick. I have an unboxing today. And as I do this unboxing, I'm going to go over the reasons why I feel that everyone should be buying this stuff right now at the fastest pace they can, just like central banks are doing in countries around the world. I got called out about my carpet knife that I was using, that this wasn't a real Texas knife, so I'm gonna use my real Texas knife to do this unboxing. So, before I get into the reasons why you need to be stacking this, I wanna talk about the company. At Cost Metals, they are the cheapest company that I have found, the best value if you wanna buy precious metals. So, and I know before everyone calls me out and says, you know, silver's pretty much at all-time record highs. You overpaid for the silver. I've had this box here for a month or 2. I don't even remember. I think silver spot was, it was definitely under 30. I want to say it was either high 28s or low 29s. There was a pullback. I had cash put back. I made the purchase. So at Cost Metals, I went online earlier just to see. Man, this knife ain't, see, that's why I use the razor knife. I don't know that this thing's worth a crap. I think this was a cheap, there it goes. Tractor Supply purchase is what this thing was. So anyways, at Cost Metals. So I went on to all the major bullion dealers that I know just to see what their prices would be for this purchase. And so, going with At Cost Metals, I saved the cheapest. This was the cheapest I could find. I saved $670 on this purchase. So, you definitely can save money with At Cost Metals. You just have to be strategic about your purchases. You know, you normally want to do larger purchases to make it worth you know, the shipping costs and all that. There are shipping costs associated with it. They're very minor. They don't upcharge the shipping. It's just what it costs to ship it to you. And then also there is a small membership fee. But with the amount of metal that I bought and my membership, but I've already purchased thousands of dollars already through At Cost Metals. So I've already saved probably couple $1,000s going through them, so it's more than paid for my my small membership, and the shipping is minimal. I also went in with a friend of mine and made this purchase. This is all mine. Their purchase came separate, but that way we were able to reduce the cost of the shipping and all that. We split it, so I think I ended up paying $7 for shipping total on this order, so who cares? I saved $670, not worried about $7. So again, you just have to be smart about how you go about it. Just, you know, making larger purchases, buying in volume. It's going to help mitigate the small costs that could be associated with doing business with At Cost. But if you're buying lots of metal and stacking it like I am, it is well worth it. So down below will be my link if you want to look into At Cost Metals. Also, my email is down there if you have any questions. Also, there's a phone number that is actually a close buddy of mine. He can answer any of your questions. His name is Johnny, good friend of mine. And if you really need to talk to me, he can put you in contact with me. So I bought these before, and actually I don't think I'm going to buy these anymore because Bill kind of got on my case about buying bars. So I think I'm going to go just back to Eagles or Constitutional Silver. So I'm not going to sit here and bore y'all with every one of these, but I ended up ordering 10 more of those Sunshine Mint Kilo bars. Absolutely stunning, beautiful bar. Last time, I had never seen these before. When I ordered them and I did the unboxing last time, like that was my actual reaction to these bars. They're just beautiful. So there's the front, and again there's the back. Beautiful bars. So check out At Cost Metal. If you're a stacker like I am, you're gonna stand to save thousands of dollars. I looked the other day and I looked at what a monster box would cost through them, and the savings I want to say was $1,000 to $1,500 per monster box. So if you're buying in bulk volume, you stand to save tons and tons, thousands of dollars. So again, if you only buy, I don't know, say 40, 50 ounces of silver a year, it may not be worth the membership costs and all that. But again, if you're stacking lots, you stand to save a lot of money, you know. So I'm gonna unbox this other thing. It's the same thing. At the end of the video, I'll do a close-up of all the bars, but I'm not gonna bore y'all opening every single box and showing y'all every single bar. But so five. So that's, I guess what, 332 ounces of pure 999 silver. So let's talk about the reasons why we need this stuff. I love silver. If you followed this channel long enough, you'll know why. I have tons of videos out there talking about this, so go back and check out my previous videos. But there's nothing wrong with gold either, ladies and gentlemen. Just my thing with gold is it's at all-time record highs, and silver right now is a little bit more than half of its all-time record high. So I don't even think silver's even really started to move yet. Gold's gonna move, and it's gonna drag silver along for the ride, and then it's gonna outperform. That's pretty much been the history of silver, and I think it's gonna be no different this time. Silver is starting to get its wings, and I think it's going to be very soon that it's just going to start skyrocketing. Russia this past week, it was released in a news article. I don't remember the exact article, but I'm sure you can look it up. But Russia announced that all these central banks and countries are buying gold and silver at the fastest pace ever in history. And so Russia's central bank now announced that they're going to start buying millions of ounces, millions of dollars worth of silver. And that's the first time that a central bank has come out and stated publicly they're going to start adding silver to their reserves. So silver is money. It is not just an industrial metal. It's also a strategic metal. So make sure you're buying gold, buying silver, you know, more so silver in my opinion. But again, if you need to, check out my other videos of why I say silver over gold. I guess one of the big hangups with silver is people say that it's super volatile. And also you can buy so much more silver with the same amount that you would buy gold. So there can be a storage issue. I don't have a storage issue, but so you've got, I mean, we're on the precipice of World War III here, ladies and gentlemen. You've got these hurricanes that are devastating the East Coast. The Federal Reserve just cut interest rates. They're saying how wonderful the economy and this is, and they don't do a quarter basis point, they do a half basis point. So QE is probably right around the corner. There's going to be bank failures. This thing is not going to get any better. And if you're thinking that the light's at the end of the tunnel because we might get a new president, let me tell you, it doesn't matter what president we get next. They're going to continue to print and print and print money. Fiat. They are going to continue to print worthless fiat, and every dollar that is printed is going to take purchasing power from all the other dollars in circulation. So when I tell people about stacking precious metals, I don't tell them, hey, you need to cash in your 401k, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, I ask them, do you have money in savings? And, I'm not trying to get in your personal business, but, do you have 5, 10, 15, 100, 500, $1,000, whatever in your, I was talking thousands on that, like 1,000, 5,000, 8,000, whatever. If you have thousands of dollars sitting parked in a savings account, your purchasing power is being eroded by the money printing. So right now they say that inflation is what, like 2%, 2.5%, 3%, whatever garbage BS number they put out there. It's not true, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how much groceries have gone up, fuel has gone up, energy, just health, life insurance, your rent, everything is skyrocketing, and it's not going up by 3%. So it's probably 7 or 8 to 10%. So say you have $100,000 that you've parked in a savings account, right? And you're getting minimal interest, 1% at best if you're lucky. So you have that $100,000 and you keep it in the bank that you technically don't own, that you've lent to the bank, and so now you're an uninsured creditor of that bank. Yeah, there's FDIC, but they can only cover like 1% of deposits. So if there's a huge bank run, a bail-in, you're not getting your money out, ladies and gentlemen. You're not getting your fiat trash out of the bank. You're going to lose it. So you have 100 grand parked in a savings account. Next year, you'll still have $100,000 in there, but you're not going to buy $100,000 worth of goods like you would today. So $100,000 worth of goods next year is probably going to be $110,000 to buy that same amount of goods. So you're losing the purchasing power of your dollar. And that's what I try to explain to these, friends of mine, colleagues, co-workers, stuff like that. And it's crazy. People are just like, well, what if silver goes down? Well, great, buy more. That's what I'm doing. So, but right now, I think I've heard that silver's mining cost is around $25 an ounce. And I've heard that that's even, a lower estimate. It's probably more than that. So you can buy an ounce of silver today for essentially near what it costs to get it out of the ground. So you're buying this stuff on sale. And that's what I don't understand. So most people, when they go to the grocery store or store or whatever, and they see something on sale that they want, right? They're like, oh man, this thing's half off. I got to buy it. So they buy that item. But no one does that with gold and silver, except for the stackers, the people that are probably here watching this channel that understand this. But if you're new to the channel, pay attention. So the opposite is for precious metals. When it's on sale, like it is right now, no one wants to buy it. But as soon as it starts jumping up like crazy, then that's when everyone, the masses, FOMO, jump in and try and buy this stuff. And what's going to happen, and I'm a firm believer of this, Bill Holter has told me this. I've heard this from multiple different smarter people out there than me. There's going to be a point where this stuff is going to become priceless because it's going to be no longer available. We have been in a silver deficit. I think it was 3 or 4 years now, and we're not sure. We're not short just, you know, 1,000,000 or 2 ounces. Like, I mean, we are short, like, well, yeah, I guess it is. I'm sorry. I was going to say thousands. We're not short a couple thousand ounces. We are short like 2,000,000 ounces every year. This stuff is being bought up by countries, by central banks, by the citizens of India, China. You know, all you know, this stuff is being bought up, and there's going to be a point where it is no longer available because supply can't keep up with demand. Supposedly less than 0.5% of the US population owns this stuff. So just think if 5% of the population wakes up and starts buying this, everything that is in these bullion dealers will be gone like that, and you're not going to get it. So I'm not trying to, you know, push fear and all that, but I'm just telling you, if you want this stuff, it is still on sale in my opinion. And you know, I've been asked before, when am I going to stop buying precious metals? And, you know, I've kind of thought, when it probably gets up 40, 50 bucks, I mean, I'll probably back off some. But really, I think I'm going to keep buying it until it's no longer available. And I think that time is coming shortly. All it takes is a couple billionaires to wake up and get smart to this, and they could literally wipe out the retail supply. And you got to think, it's going to be kind of like the ammo thing. You know, when there were ammo shortages, do you think the government and the government entities had any issues getting ammo? No, they are put to the front of the line. So there may still be these bullion products being produced. We're not going to get it. It's going to be the fat cats and the banks and the countries that are going to get whatever is still being mined. So again, that's why I think there's going to be a time that this stuff is not going to be available. They are not able to keep up with production. And these countries and central banks are draining all the vaults around the world, stacking this stuff. And so there's going to be a point where those vaults are out of silver and the mines can't produce enough silver to keep up. And then that's when the supply is going to be little to nothing, and the demand is going to be through the roof. You know, you have the huge innovations with that new Samsung battery that runs off of silver, supposedly for smart cars, or not smart cars, but electric vehicles. Supposedly it'll charge in like 9 minutes and could go like 1,200 miles or some ridiculous amount. So that might actually make a electric vehicle worth the squeeze. Right now, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze, and I don't know that I can lower myself to be driving an electric vehicle, but I'm sure the technology is coming. It's going to get better to where eventually it'll be financially worth it. But apparently that silver battery uses like a lot of silver. I've heard it's a lot of silver, probably a couple 100 ounces of silver. Then we're about to be in World War III. Silver is in all of these high-tech weapons. The Tomahawk missiles, you know, has supposedly 500 ounces of silver. That's 35 pounds of silver is in every Tomahawk missile. And you know that the U.S. is selling arms probably to both sides of this whole mess that's going to happen. So think about how much silver demand is going to be in all these ordnance that are going to be used by all these different countries. Because everything, these are all smart weapons now. This isn't like World War II where, you know, mostly everything is, you know, gunpowder and whatever, you know, whatever. It's like the missiles today are super high tech and they use a lot of silver. So when this World War III, if it kicks off, gets going, they're going to be burning through silver like crazy. And this stuff, once it gets exploded, is never recovered because obviously it's in little bitty pieces and it'll never be recovered. So silver is being consumed, whereas gold is just being stacked. I've heard that like 98, 99% of all gold ever mined is still above ground in people's possessions, whether it's jewelry, bars, coins, you know, what have you. And silver, that's not the case. I mean, we have abused, silver is being abused. It has been abused. And I hope this day comes very soon because I think silver eventually will kind of leave its industrial metal role and it's going to be a precious metal. Not period, but that's going to be its main role. And, I wouldn't be surprised if silver got to, it's definitely going to go triple digit. $100 silver, I think within the next year or two, we will see $100 silver. I think by the end of the year, silver's probably going to be in the high 30s. Next year, I think we'll see 50, and possibly the following year, 100. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if silver gets up to 5, 6, 7, 800 an ounce. I think gold has the potential to go to 20,000, 25, 30,000 an ounce, possibly higher. And I think at that point, the cat's going to be out of the bag, and I think the silver to gold ratio are going to correct. And so I think gold's going to go, say, 10x, 5x, and I think silver could go 40, 50, 60x. So anyways, I guess I don't want this video to get too long. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing, my opinions. This is also based off of people that I follow and watch on YouTube that are definitely well more informed, way smarter than I am. I'm just trying to get the information out there. Thank you for the patience. I know it's been a long time since I put a video out. The last couple months, it's just been, it's been a busy couple months. But again, at Cost Metals, please look it up. Again, it's the cheapest place I have found the best value to buy metals, and go check out their prices. I will include a link to their prices. You can go check it out and actually compare prices with whoever you shop with. And if you find cheaper, better value, then go with them. I don't care where you get this stuff, just get it. I have just found that at Cost Metals for me is the best way for me to buy metal, because I am buying in volume. Maybe that's a better word for it instead of bulk. But, I buy a lot of precious metals and I save a lot. And so, but also tell your friends and family about it. Maybe you personally can't benefit from it, but they can. So tell them about at Cost Metals, have them check out the prices, have them get in contact with me if they have any questions about anything about it. But I love the company. I'm starting to become really good friends with Justin Davis. He is one of the CEOs of the company. Great dude. I mean, just amazing person. His passion for this space is incredible. Really good dude. And I'm very glad that a good friend of mine turned me on to this company. So again, I'll put a link if you want to check out the pricing. Email me if you have any questions. Also, there's a phone number. It is to a good buddy of mine. His name is Johnny. He will answer any of your questions. And if you really need to get in contact with me, he can put you in contact with me. Also, I will include the link if you do want to join at Cost Metals, and it'll walk you through the process. So again, thank you for being here, for the patience. I will get some more videos out. It's just, the last 2 months has just been crazy. I don't know if I said this on the last video, but I ended up taking a different position at work. It's great. The schedule is great, but the hours have kind of changed to where it's just difficult for me to get home. I'm doing jiu-jitsu 3 times a week, my kiddos, and I still have a social life, so it's just, it's a struggle now to get these videos out. But I haven't forgot about y'all. I apologize, but please like, share, subscribe. Again, any questions about at cost, please do not hesitate to reach out. But you have the ability to save thousands of dollars through this company. So highly recommended. I think this is my 3rd or 4th order, and actually I didn't want to do it all in one go. I have another unboxing that I need to do, and I've had that box for I don't know, probably a month and a half. It's not as impressive as this one, but it's really cool. So I'm going to leave it at that. God bless everyone. Please be safe out there. Don't stop stacking this stuff. Don't stop training with this stuff. I think we have some really crazy, dangerous times ahead. Yeah. So anyways, prepare. Pray to the man upstairs. Stay close to God. Keep training. That's it. Texas Silver, out. Seriously? Leave my kitty alone.